Hey guys, it's Fredrina at Trinity Professional Group. It is Tuesday, our first video of the week. I'm so excited. October is like crazily going by. Like, just where the heck did it go? Like, I remember the first day of October, the next week I'm 32, and then now we're in November. Like, what is going on, right? But of course, with time moving, we've had so much time to be within our business. We've had so much time to see results. We've had so much time to implement change, but a lot of changes still haven't been implemented yet. A lot of times when we are in business, we don't have the time to really sit and see what's not working. We just kind of come in and fix it, and then that's it, right? But going into Q1, we don't want to continue to make that mistake. We want to create systems, infrastructure, workflows, SOPs, however you want to say it. We want to create these things to minimize the chaos. And then when we minimize chaos, we can now exceed when it comes to things like revenue. And then generating that revenue to become profit because we have procedures in place that's going to keep our money in-house instead of spending it on waste, right? So going into Q1, which is January 1, I really want us to begin to focus on the future in general. Like, even before we get to January, focusing on the future and scoping for the future is a huge deal for a business owner. And I'm going to slow down a bit on this video and Thursdays as well, just because I need the point to be driven home, right? So you know that in my first few videos, we talked about SOPs and KPIs, right? We talked about having a solid infrastructure, which means you know exactly how you want your company to run and operate. And then from there, you build procedures that reflect how you want your company to operate, which would be SOPs, standard operational procedures. So then we got into the fact that those SOPs then can generate you KPIs where you can forecast for the future based on the numbers that come from the procedure you set up, right? Everything kind of flows with each other. So when scoping for the future, your KPIs are going to be your go-to. They're going to help you see if you need to invest in a new machine. They're going to help you see if you need to invest in, I don't know, a new truck, a new forklift. They're going to help you know whether you need to invest in more product for the coming year, or how did you do in a certain season compared to another. And then if you didn't do so well, we probably shouldn't invest finances in that area going forward, right? So with your KPIs, you have to have the time to sit and dive through them. Like, you have to go through them line by line. You have to become engulfed with them, right? And the reason you want to become engulfed with your KPIs beyond just where you want to head in the future, you need to know if your SOPs need to be tweaked. Like, this is a huge deal, because if you plan to get better, if you plan to have more customers, if you plan to expand your product offering, if you plan to get out of your garage and into a warehouse, if you plan to add a second forklift, all of these things that go into business, or all of these investments that you put into a business, you need to have procedure to back up where you are right now before you decide to expand. And so this is a huge deal for the future. You don't want to incur more costs as you grow. You want to incur more profit, right? Like I said, the revenue is only the oil that keeps the engine running. It is not what you keep at the end of the day. So if you buy, I don't know how much forklifts cost, like $60,000 maybe, I don't know. If you spend $60,000 on a forklift and then you lose so much money because they drive it too fast, you lose the product off the dock because somebody wasn't paying attention, right? All of these things that are a residual of the money you've already invested could be crucial and detrimental to the success of your business going forward. So when you scope for the future and you rehash those KPIs, it lets you know, hey, maybe I don't need 8 people on the dock. Maybe I should only have 4 to minimize distraction, right? Or if my trucks come in this way, maybe I should redo my dock so that my forklift driver can see when he's going forward. So there are so many things that you have to change and revamp when it comes to scoping for the future, but you have to do it based on your metrics. Your metrics are going to show you what you can and cannot do, whether you're hopeful, whether you're being optimistic or not. You have to go by the numbers, because that's what's keeping you in business. So when you go to scope for the future, make sure you're in a position of openness. Make sure you're in a position to accept critique. you're in a position to take that critique and then make it constructive and build something better from what you've heard, whether it's from your employees, your trusted advisors, your leaders, your C-suite, whomever it may be. You have to be in a receptive position, because not only is your business counting on you to make wise decisions, these people then carry out those decisions that you put in place. So everybody's affected. Their family's affected by if they can eat or not, based on the business ideas that you put in place. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news, but there was actually a trucking company who had an infrastructure issue. Some of their background wasn't being handled properly, and ultimately the company ended up going out of business. People lost their 401k, people lost retirement plans, people lost, I don't even know, stock. People lost some of everything. They lost their job on top of everything beyond just their residual and their retirement plans. So there's so much that depends on your back office. There's so much that depends on your infrastructure, again, which is why I'm so passionate about it. Your infrastructure keeps you going. And then from there, you get to see those results with those SOPs and KPIs. So when you go to plan for the future, you have to make sure that you are in a place. Again, I have to say it, you have to be receptive. It cannot be yes men around you the whole time. It cannot be yes women around you the whole time. It cannot be your employee of the month who only gives you feedback. It cannot be your top earners or your top output people, your top pickers, your top packers, whomever. It can not only be your top people, because you need a well-rounded view of what it's going to take to move forward, what it's going to take to move forward with those people, as well as what it's going to take from you to change. Sometimes in order to get somewhere else and to get higher, we have to change. While yes, at this level, us being a certain way sustained our company, that's not going to do when we seek to evolve, right? So if you're seeking to evolve your company and you're the head of that company, you should probably be evolving too, right? You should be getting better. You should be more entrenched in your business. You should be more focused on your vision, your mission, and how you can live that out through your employees, who are merely extensions of you, right? So if the head isn't clear, then everything else isn't clear and we're just all jumbled. But in order for you to show clarity, you have to have infrastructure. Then based on that infrastructure, you move to SOPs. And then based on those SOPs, you see the result of that with KPIs, and those KPIs are what are going to help you plan for the future, as well as dictate what you should or should not plan for the future. And that is crucial. I'm telling you, as small business owners, even for myself, a lot of my purchases are out of my pocket. And in order to grow, I have to mitigate those purchases and pay attention to what I'm purchasing, because long term, it could have an effect on whether I get to a certain point or not, or how I service my clients in the long term. So when you have those crucial decisions to make, the weight of those decisions, how you impact others, how your business is impacted, how your business is represented, all of these things that weigh on you, you have to have those trusted advisors, which is why I said you can't have yes men or yes women around you. You need to be able to hear like, hey, this sucks. Hey, the shape of the building doesn't really work for what it is we're trying to do. Or, okay, when we get out of your garage, this building leaks. And all of these things, you need to be open to hearing, where not only is your optimism on 10, but you're also being realistic. So having your KPIs reveal the numbers that back up what's coming to you is going to help you scope for the future and plan for the future in a much better way. And I really want to dive back into this on Thursday, as far as like the trusted advisors and the people you have around you, because it makes such a huge difference in how you see your future as well. You can't do it alone. And so many times as entrepreneurs, we have to at the beginning, and it's hard for us to loosen the reins in the end. So you have to get to a place where you trust these people and you put people in place, whereas you know their functionality, and you allow them to branch out and get better and allow them to grow as the company grows. That way, when you're in situations like this and you're planning for the future, some of the things you don't get to see on the day-to-day that they're now in charge of, they can fill you in on to make sure you're not wasting money, to make sure you remain connected to your employees, to make sure you remain connected to your company as well, and make sure you're not just paying money in expenditures that aren't going to bring you back the profit that you were hoping for, right? All right, guys. So this is the first half of this week's topic on scoping for the future, planning for the future. On Thursday, I will go back into this topic again. And like I said, I'm going to lean heavy on your trusted advisors and why they need to be there. My name is Fredrina with Trinity Professional Group. I love infrastructure. I love what I do. You can always check me out on trinityprofessionalgroup.com to know a bit about my background and what it is I offer with my company, as well as my social media accounts, Freddie the Trinity Pro for YouTube, and then Fredrina, Freddie the Trinity Pro on Facebook. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you on Thursday. Have a good night.